Yeah. So you heard almost since morning I have been hearing all the speakers prior to me talking about how AI is revolutionizing, and it is safe to say that the traditional spray and pray kind of a marketing seems to be over, right? And there are data also to be proven where we have seen that the traditional marketing typically achieves a success of around 2, 3, maybe 4%. AI driven marketing already does around close to 10+%, right? So there are data to be proven. With that, I'm Nilesh. I lead the business at PayU Innovations. Along with me is my colleague Sanjeev. He is the director for AI solutions. And together we will show you about what we have at PayU Innovation done to revolutionize how marketing is getting automated basis the AI intelligence play. Any guesses what this number represents, 2.5 quintillion? Well, this is 2.5 followed by 18 zeros. That's the amount, that's the byte of data that gets generated each day. Mind it, this is each day I'm talking about. Multiply this with 365, you will be talking about almost 20 zeros followed by something, right? Now, this looks overwhelming. Big data is overwhelming. But we talk about most of the marketeers being drowned in this ocean of data rather than surfing it, right? How are we trying to make sense of this data? This is where PayU Innovations comes into picture, and we have told about that it is not about the data quantity that comes into fore, it is also understanding. So this is what I also call is that the data noise, right? Most of the marketeers today are drowned in this data noise. We talk about fragmented audience definitions. Every week, every day the audience definition changes because there is certain needs that we see. We talk about a lot of scattered data environments, system standing in silos, not talking to each other. There is clicks, but there is no intent. If there is intent, there is no feedback. If there is feedback, we don't understand that feedback very well, does not get digested into the system again. So what do we do here, right? Again, broad segments, typically those segments that we have been living for, which is around demography, which is around typical age, gender, location kind of a targeting that we used to do, and then the delayed execution cycle. The challenge that we talked about was data quality, and then we talk about the real-time access, right? So we talk about precise audience architecture, immediate targeting, real-time access, dynamic creatives, which talks about a lot to do with how the emotion changes. With those emotional AI, can we change the creatives? When you need it, are we present there? And then it's also one of the examples that can be drawn is, imagine you have a room full of books, right? All good books, huge massive library of books, but you don't have time to read it. Would you love to have one rather book which will give you all the answers and the moment that you need it? That's where the AI innovation comes into picture, and we solve it via the right side that you see, which is filtered signals plus the real-time access, which is the actionable intelligence we talk about, right? Here, what we did in the last 7 years comes into picture, and we talk about some 900 million plus audiences understanding with all those signals coming in. So whether it is intent, behavior, clicks, clickstream data, purchase signals, etc., all getting with the feedback loop, digesting into the system, coming out with AI and ML models. Now these are models which are trained on, say, a propensity-based behavior. So we are predicting what are the people going to do, what are the marketers want, right? Serving through 99 plus verticals, more than 200 brands already served for, and then there are first-party data signals coming through 10 plus strategic data partners. Right? So these are some of the key things, and we have seen that more than 80% of the marketers within the first 1 year have shown a significant ROI improvement. Right? This is all done basis our AI audience-powered platform, which is Amphic. We have named it Amphic. This is the launch of Amphic. So here it goes.
Amphic, AI-powered audience intelligence and activation platform. At the core of Amphic lies robust, deterministic and AI-driven audience signals. Get access to pre-built segments across industries on your fingertips. With Amphic, you can build custom audiences effortlessly for your campaign, review scale in real time, and activate it across channels seamlessly. Or simply tell Amphic what you need. With our robust GenAI audience builder, audience creation becomes conversational. But activation without insight is incomplete. Amphic provides deep audience analytics such as user behavior, cohort overlap, and channel distribution. Amphic, AI-powered audience intelligence and activation platform.
Okay, so the platform you just saw the demo for, this is not just any platform. This is really what we call internally as actually marketing command center. Let me take you through how we have revolutionized marketing with the help of the offerings available on Amphic. I'll talk about 5 different aspects of Amphic, and then we'll go to how AI intelligence has powered other offerings on Amphic, and we'll talk about other things. The first one is the host of transaction-related insights available on Amphic. We just don't understand people who have purchased. We also understand why did they purchase, when would they purchase again, and how to reach them. Apart from that, along with that, we have 10 different data partners coming from credit profile, occupation profile, app usage, and then so much more. We create a lot of intent-related insights, who is in the market for your category, for your industry. At this point, what we are looking into is the digital DNA of our customers. Once you have decided, okay, these are the intent signals I want to activate, these are the ideal cohorts, we give you the real-time capability of activating all of them across so many ad platforms. At this point, you are not missing out on any opportunities, no waiting in lines. And the biggest of them all, all of these, what I talked about, all the offerings, all the data, we are completely privacy compliant, FPD enabled. We just are not fast, we are responsible as well. The Amphic platform also provides you 24/7 on-call support, because what we believe in is when opportunity comes knocking at our door, even at 2 a.m., we should be there to respond. Now, while we'll come back to other offerings of Amphic, I want to talk about how AI intelligence has revolutionized modern marketing, and more importantly, how its advent has inspired the build of Amphic without discounting the power of grind and learning from the manual approach to optimize the campaigns. And I'll talk about the major 3 factors, how this has enabled or inspired the build of Amphic. The first one is the ability to leverage millions and millions of data which can lead to eventual campaign performance. Right from the ad platform to ad targeting to the clicks to the views, when the ads are being shown, how much time a user is spending on the ad, where the user is seeing the ad, all of these were distant dreams 10 years ago when we were flipping through the pages and the sheets of campaign performance reports. Second is the speed at which we are able to take critical decisions today. You see high-scale data handling across different funnels of the campaign leads to high velocity and high performing decision making, and the most important of them all, with high consistency as well. At this point, the decision making transitions from gut feel driven to data driven. And finally, if you look at traditional approach to do marketing, a lot of the capabilities, a lot of efforts were being done in a very standalone manner, in very disjointed manner. The agentic workflow approach brings all of these on the same page. Tell me how many scenarios you have seen where the best performing audience targeting meets best performing ad creatives, and they result in abysmal performance. The reason is simple. They are not in sync, they are not talking to each other. When you look at all of these 3, along with our day-to-day learning from talking to 100+ marketeers each week, understanding their pain points, their problem statements, short-term requirements, long-term requirements, optimizing their campaigns with a combination of manual and data science-led approach, has actually inspired how we have built Amphic, which has features with the power to revolutionize how we do marketing right from the planning to attribution stage. With that, I'm going to talk about some of the marquee features of Amphic and how that is going to solve your problem, whether you are actually really at the start of the campaign, when you're actually planning where should I spend my money, to when you are actually attributing where my money is being spent and is that resulting into the intended performance. I'll start with the first one, which is industry understanding and profiling. This helps you understand where your competitors are spending. For your category, who are the people who are in market to purchase something? Who are the people who have already purchased and they are in market for a repeat purchase? Who are the people who have recently been onboarded in your category? You also think of a lot of marketers, and this room is full of marketers. You will understand most of us have faced the problem of cold start. Like, I know my objective, but where should I start? Should I spend my money first, learn second, and then get to a stage where I know my money, my pennies are being spent in an optimized manner? Amphic solves for that by providing you a media planning module to help you understand right from the day zero, which should be your ad format, what should be your targeting, what should be your bid, what should be your optimization funnel, and so on. Now, coming to a smart audience, this is where we have done the best job out of all of the features you are looking at. We have done the best job in the last 5 years. Because traditionally, we have been a data refiner. The PayU innovation, the whole PayU innovation business has been about refining the data. Today, we stand with 10 plus data partners across QCOM, location intelligence, e-com, occupation profile, credit profile, apography data, intent data, search data. And what we do is we mine all of these data into very targetable insights. On top of this, we have our own neural network and NLP engine, which helps you create 100 plus category propensity models in order to understand. Hey, one example could be, I want to, for my insurer, I want to target people who are in market or people who have high propensity to purchase an insurance policy. On top of it, sometimes there are requirements around, hey, I have my niche users, but these are just 1,000. I can't use them to target. Can I use your lookalike suite to get to a 50 million targetable base, keeping the efficacy and the strength of the signal almost the same? On top of this, when you look at so many signals, so many pre-built cohorts, it's very easy to get overwhelmed with the fact that how should I select them? And on top of it, what we put is our GenAI recommendation engine, which help you understand, which will just take your input as campaign brief, your requirement, and it will suggest you the right targeting for your campaign. From where, right? From pre-built cohorts, from 5,000 plus pre-built cohorts, and also the real-time mining of the data, which is relevant for your category. With agentic campaign orchestration, we have seen there are people who are Meta ad platform expert, there are Google ad platform expert. This, our campaign orchestrator takes that away from the equation. You are basically putting your query in natural language that, hey, I want to set up campaign on Meta ad platform, optimizing for this step of the funnel, targeting these type of users, and keeping these type of ad creatives, and it should be able to do. With our creatives builder, well, like this has been buzz of the last 2 years, right? Generating creatives just basis the storyline. But this helps you do that. This also gives you a lot of control. For example, you have your pre-existing creatives. Okay, I'll help you understand which are the right targeting which can go with your creatives. If you have your pre-existing creatives, I'll help you understand what are the areas you can improve, whether you want to improve at your end or using our tool. And finally, obviously, it helps you generate 100% different alternatives of the creatives for you within seconds to help with the very, very high campaign performance. This is one area, AI campaign optimizer or campaign optimization is one area where we have always needed the help of our experts. Right? Hey, now I have started, it started doing quite well. Now, how should I optimize my campaign? With its 24/7 continuous monitoring of the campaign, which helps you set up the campaign on different ad platforms, but also monitors your campaign when the actions should be taken related to change in the budget, change in the bids, change in the optimization funnel. There is a fatigue in the targeting, there is a fatigue in the ad creatives. With the attribution module, We are basically solving the problem of duplicity, which a lot of marketers faces because generally we run campaigns across multiple ad platforms. How should you, this helps you understand whether your 1 rupee was spent in the right manner and how much of that brought in the conversion for you. And the most important of it, it gives you a single view of all the money which are being spent across different ad platforms. And obviously, this will help you understand whether I was spending on a suboptimal ad platforms or suboptimal targeting and so on. In addition to that, it also eliminates or to some extent reduces the need to spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees to run a brand lift study for your branding campaign just to get some metrics which are beyond click-through rate and pay-through rate. This is again, this is the ad platform. This is the Amphic you just saw the demo for. This is again a snapshot of that. If I talk about what I just talked about in the last 7-8 minutes, all of them have manifested themselves in form of these numbers which are benchmarked in themselves irrespective of your objective was a branding campaign, your objective was a performance campaign. We have been able to solve for all the steps of the funnel. If you ask me, what is one thing which has worked the best for you in order to achieve some of the numbers you are seeing here? I'll say a combination of 3 factors there. The first one is the scale at which, the sheer scale at which we were able to mine audiences. Second, the deployment of AI to complete a feedback loop to get the learning churning day in, day out. And finally, understanding, that's the simplest one, understanding our client's requirement immersively. We understand their pain points, we give them back the right performance, they keep coming back to us. On this, I'll say one sentence which represents this slide the best. We don't stop at helping our clients with just acquisition. We also help them with, once they have acquired customers, how can they keep getting more and more out of them? For example, some of the suite around activation of dormant customers, a suite around cross-sell strategy, upsell strategy. With all of these, even while we help them acquire with a lower CAC, were they the right LTV customers for them? We help them identify even after day 0 when they acquired the customers. There have been so many cases where the D2C or the e-commerce client has come to us saying that, hey, I'm able to get my acquisition at a lower CAC, but I'm getting a lot of refunds and RTOs when the orders are being placed. There are cases where we have been able to solve right at the targeting stage that these are the people you will be able to acquire at a lesser CAC, but also will not result in the RTOs and the refunds and so on. With that, I will hand it over to Nilesh to hit a home run.
So, see the typical, and you can draw a parallel to the current energy crisis and the oil crisis also happening, right? You could be sitting on a huge amount of raw data, which could be raw oil for you, but do you want to be the refiner? Or do you want to be the processor here, right? So ideally, being a refiner works. You have multiple sources of data coming into it. You can refine the data, you can create intelligence out of it, you can serve those intelligence at the right period, right time. But the cost of waiting, right? So you have to start small. You could not be waiting that, okay, if I have the entire set of data, that's where I'll get started. The cost of waiting is almost 2x higher as compared to the cost who has started something, right? And these are, even if you are small, start with the small AI, start with the first application that works, and then you launch at scale, right? Here what, again, PayU Innovation does is to help you launch at scale. We already have shown you that we have the capability, we have the capacity, we talk about 900 million plus audiences. We have talked about 3 V's practically, which is your volume, your velocity, and the variety, right? Velocity is the real-time data serving that we talked about, but the time says that it's almost over. So we'd love to continue this conversation at our booth, which is A7, and happy to chat further on this. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Nilesh. Thank you, Sanjeev.